Is 2021 the year of your private practice? Let's find out.
My name is Jenna Castro-Casbon. I am part of a group of private practitioners who have taken client care into our own hands. We are skilled clinicians who pride ourselves on providing high-quality care to our clients and their families. We are fighting against productivity requirements, administrative red tape, and unnecessary restrictions. We started our own private practices to take control of our professional and personal lives, of our schedules, of our incomes, of our future. We work hard for our clients, but on our terms. We believe in helping others, but also helping ourselves. We are not interested in competing with each other because we hope we'll all make it. We are successful private practitioners, and these are our stories.
So it's finally 2021. Last year was a wild, crazy, and heartbreaking year. There was a lot of fear, there was a lot of pain, and there will be lasting effects on all of us. But there's also a lot of hope. There is hope for the future. There is hope for better times ahead, much better times. And well, I'm here for it. I'm here for the long haul. I have helped over 10,000 SLPs start and grow successful private practices since 2008. And in many ways, I feel like I'm just getting started. This was a year like none other I've ever seen for all of us, but especially for private practitioners. Many started 2020 off with a bang. Things were rolling along and we were really excited for 2020. It had such a good sound to it. But then in March, the coronavirus outbreak started and things got really scary really fast. People's bustling private practices had to close their physical doors overnight. Clients stopped coming. Their sessions were canceled. My higher level private practitioners in my programs were terrified. They had rent for their clinics to cover and also employee salaries. During these really scary initial days, I hosted a few extra group meetings for them, and people cried. People didn't know what to do. People were scared. And to be completely honest, I felt bad, like I was somehow responsible. Now, of course, I knew I wasn't. There was nothing I could have done about the pandemic, but there was something that I could do as a leader. I could step up and lead people through this time, and I did. I helped lay out steps for people to transition to telepractice. Most private practitioners were interested in offering telepractice at some point, but that some point all of a sudden became the next week. So people started to scramble to pick the perfect platform. And what a mess that was. What features are best? Which platforms are HIPAA compliant? Which platforms have a whiteboard? People's heads were spinning. I saw established private practitioners in my programs go in two different directions. One group made quick decisions. They looked up the platforms, they signed up for one, they made a plan to train their employees, and they got back to booking sessions quickly. Was there a learning curve? Yes, but they were learning by taking action, and the money started to flow back into their practices. The other group remained paralyzed by fear and couldn't figure out how to move forward, how to pivot. They didn't adapt to the changing landscape of private practice, and they stayed scared and stuck. They kept saying things like, let's give it a few more weeks and then we'll be up. But as those weeks stretched into months, their businesses tanked and they couldn't save themselves, even with my help. Then spring came, and I remember distinctly being out on a walk in May in Boston, which is still pretty cold, and seeing little flowers and little shards of grass starting to pop out through the snow. As spring arrived, so did the increase in private practice referrals for the private practitioners in my program. All of a sudden, the families who had taken a break from therapy due to overwhelm were ready and desperate for services. The phones were ringing and the emails were dinging. Hope was alive again. The private practices that figured out how to pivot to telepractice were bursting at the seams and desperately looking to hire. The private practices that had shrunk down or even closed were reopening and starting to see clients again. Private practice was back in business, and not just blooming, but booming. Through the summer and early fall, countless private practitioners told me that they were hiring for multiple positions, expanding clinic spaces, and breaking goals that they had set out for 2020. Were there still cancellations? Yes. Was there increased cost for PPE and safety measures for private practitioners who are back and seeing in-person clients? Yes. But people were back and therapy was in demand. 2020 was also a big year for new private practitioners. Over 750 students joined the Start Your Private Practice system since March of 2020 when coronavirus first started. SLPs had their hours cut, pay reduced, or were working in unsafe or less than ideal situations. So instead of waiting for things to get better, they took control of their professional, personal, and financial futures and started seeing their own private clients. Now, most of this happened on telepractice, but some people were also seeing in-person clients. They had been waiting for the perfect time to start their private practices, and even though now it seemed like a crazy time to start, there were families desperate for therapy for their loved ones. And those students who joined haven't just gotten their ducks in a row. They're actually getting clients and getting paid what they're worth on their own terms during a global pandemic. They are navigating a new landscape, but they are now in full control of the care they give to their clients and how, when, and where they deliver clinical services. Private practice is poised for growth in 2021. I see people in those SLP groups all the time say, "What's the best telepractice company to work for?" And I always comment, "Yours. You can do this. You can see your own clients. You can cut out the middleman and keep the money that you're earning for yourself, not others." It is much easier to set up a private practice than you think, and you get to be in full control. Once you know what to do, it's actually easy to set up your private practice, and you get to be in full control of your caseload, your clients, and your life. SLPs in traditional settings are saying, "Enough. I have had enough. Enough of the high caseloads, high productivity requirements, high paperwork demands, and low pay." If you've had enough, it's time to take control of your schedule, your income, and your life. And if you haven't taken the steps to start working with private clients, you're going to want to start this year in 2021. We are at a crossroads in history. After surviving one of the worst years ever, you get to make a choice. Who do you want to be on the other side of this? Do you want to be a woman with options, a successful and self-sufficient clinician, an action taker versus a wait-and-see person, or even an SLP who still fits in her pants with a small private practice on the side? Now is the time to choose your own destiny and start your private practice. Don't worry, I'll help you do it. See, if you've been on my email list or been in the SLP Private Practice Beginners Facebook group, or even been listening to this podcast for a while now, but you haven't joined the Start Your Private Practice system, now is the time to join. I'm on a mission to help 1,000 SLPs start their private practices in 2021, and I want you to be one of them. So hop on the waitlist over at startyourprivatepractice.com/waitlist. We're going to be opening the doors very soon, and I want you in this program. I want to support you on your private practice journey. Enough is enough. It's time to make lemons into lemonade and finally build that private practice of your dreams. And I cannot wait to support you. So head over to startyourprivatepractice.com/waitlist, and I'll let you know as soon as the doors open again. I cannot wait to help you start your private practice. Now that you've listened to the episode, I want to invite you to a free training. Do you have a business background? Most SLPs who go into private practice don't. You went to grad school, not business school. But here you are, trying to start or grow a private practice. The good news is, business skills can be learned, and I want to help you make solid decisions on how to start and grow your private practice
so you can serve your community and build a legacy while doing therapy on your own terms, in your own time, and yes, make more money. I want to invite you to my free training specifically to help SLPs get the background information you need to know in order to be successful. There are 2 tracks, the Start track and the Grow track, because the needs of beginners and growth level private practitioners are very different. The trainings are short but thorough and can be consumed and put into action quickly. I want to teach you how to think, act, and behave like the private practitioner you are meant to be so that you can step into the vision you have for your private practice and your life. And the best part, these trainings are completely free. To register right now, simply visit independentclinician.com, click Start or Grow, and we can get started right now.